the meeting, you know what? We need to turn the page at quarterback. We need to do it now before the draft. Dak, we're going to call Todd France. Let's work out a trade. That would have been more defensible than this, which is not be able to sign any of your other guys, not get anything done in free agency, not getting because you haven't got anything done with Dak, and then maybe, so what, bro? So you can then sign him August 20th? Yeah. Like that, and I know that's what you think's going to happen. It's such bad business. It is such indefensibly bad business, and that's not even a value judgment on where Dak is in the quarterback hierarchy. It's just how to run a football franchise, which, again, I love my job, but teams out there watching, come on, I could probably help your organization.
Consult?
Yeah, consult, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I would.
He wants to be GM.
He
will not for consult.
Go ahead.
Isn't this what they do, though?
Exactly.
Zeke Elliott signed to a ridiculous 6-year, $90 million contract. Obviously, all that wasn't guaranteed. September 3rd. All right. Dak Prescott, you said it, could have signed him last offseason, didn't. We don't have to go back to his first contract where they could have got him maybe for what, 27 million, and ended up having to pay him 40 and all that stuff. And then the contract he got where he didn't have to have a franchise tag, like no trade. This is what they do. I do think, Nick, they want him. And I think for whatever reason, they're probably around 55 million right now because that's where the market is at. And if they just give him 60, which I think they will within a few weeks before the season starts, he will likely sign. And I think that's how this thing is going to end, unless Dak is just kind of tired of the Cowboys and like, you know what, I think I can get more. He is taking a risk. And I know he got paid last time after he got injured, but there's always an injury risk, and maybe it could be more serious if you get injured. There's a risk that you don't play well. Like, it's just, if I'm Dak, I'm thinking if they pay him $60 million, which is $5 million per, more than any other quarterback out there, you're the first $60 million guy. You're in a franchise you've been in your whole career, comfortable with, teammates you like, great receiver. I would think he'd sign it.
Can I pitch a theory to you why this hasn't happened?
Sure.
Because both Dak and the Jones family have said, we hope we can get it done. So your theory is it's not getting done.
Correct.
But it feels like when they're saying they want to get it done, I put it through the truth meter, it came out truthful.
Okay.
Brew thinks it will get done, but he doesn't know why. He thinks they're arguing about money. But nothing's going to change. No other quarterback's going to get signed.
Right.
What do you think about this theory? News cycle.
So, go ahead.
Late, it's just,
That's Jerry.
It's middle of August. Like, we're kind of like, hey, what's going on? Like, the Olympics are going on.
Yep.
This guy wants to own the news cycle. We come back from vacation, not that it's about us. We come back from vacation, football's heating up. Oh my gosh, school supplies are there. It's football time. And then bang, guess what? I just signed Dak Prescott to the richest contract because I'm Jerry Jones. We do things big in Dallas. You want to see a star on your helmet? Dak's like, I already have a helmet. It's like, I know, but still, big.
So I agree with that. Wow.
So here's why I don't think that's ridiculous, but here's why I think it would be a ridiculous way to do business.
I don't disagree with that.
There has been a true legitimate opportunity cost in not having Dak signed.
Yes.
And so it's not as if it's like, okay, we've done all our other business, it's no problem, and we're just milking the media for coverage. It's the reason CD's not signed, in my opinion. Yeah. It's one of the reasons you didn't do a better or a more aggressive job in free agency in replacing either Tony Pollard. Like when, Tony Pollard left, maybe they would have liked Saquon Barkley. No, I'm saying they clearly.
Rico Dowdle's not the next.
Well, he might be the next Tony Pollard. They clearly felt they needed a running back. We know from Jerry's comments about the draft. So it would just be such a bananas way to run a football team that I think it's actually Occam's razor, which is the most obvious explanation to the correct one, which is they haven't signed him because they don't think he's worth 55 or 60 million. And they're going to let him play out this deal, and they're going to figure it out from then. That's what I think's happening, but I still think it's bad business.
Jerry said last week, it's worked. a team that
Yeah.
hadn't been to the Super Bowl in 29 years.
Yep.
It's worked. Well, what's worked? The media.
All right, Micah Parsons off the pods into the pads, dominating, telling Clarence Hill of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, "I'm in rhythm. There's nothing they can do." And this is his own teammate, so that's good. He's currently the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. Micah, Miles, TJ, Bosa, and then Max Crosby, who is 5th here, but oddly a top 10 player according to the NFL 100. Brew, do you expect Micah to take a leap this season?
Is he still doing the podcast?
Oh,
I believe
my
so, yes.
gosh.
I'm just wondering. That's all. He can do it. I don't want to speculate on him taking a leap. Micah's great, but this is what I'm concerned about. Micah's got to be better late in the season and in the postseason. All right, that's what I want to see. Because he comes out like a great, all right, in the first part of the season, and everybody's comparing him to Lawrence Taylor, and then he fades 2 years ago, his second year. 12 sacks in the first 10 games. You know how many he had over the last 6?
2.
1.5. Last year, 11.5 sacks over the first 11, 2.5 over the last 6. And we know he was a no-show in the playoffs. I mean, if you're that guy, you cannot go down 27-0. We know Dak didn't play well, but your defense that you lead was horrific. You gave up 48 points. He had, one QB hit, no sacks, 2 tackles? Like, I want Micah Parsons to be great all year, not just through the first
That's what taking a leap
3
would
months.
be. So that's what taking a leap
So
would
if
be.
that's what he's got to do. That's the leap. It's not, he's awesome in the first 3 months, and then you fade again late. So that's the leap, and I want to see him do it.
So he is on not an unprecedented, but close to unprecedented run as far as in his career, he has come in, second, third in Defensive Player of the Year voting. He's been in the league 3 years. He's come in top 3 every year. So this isn't just first 3 years. This is every player ever that has 3 straight top 3 Defensive Player of the Year finishes. We can show it to you. It's TJ Watt over a similar time frame, peak Ray Lewis, and Mean Joe Green. Now, all of those other guys also won at least one of those awards. Micah has not. So Brew's point about him trailing off late is correct. It also should be stated, if it's not obvious, he's the best player on this team, and he has been dominant, a dominant football player since the when he walked into the NFL. With all that said, because of the losses on the offensive line, because I don't know that other than CD, they have a reliable receiving core, the only through line for the Cowboys being a contender this year is Micah has the best year of his career by far. And I'm talking closer to 20 than to 10 sacks, that, disruption,
And that
start
might
to
not
finish.
even be
And
enough.
that might not be enough.
You
But,
need
and
that.
by the way, I think he's going to have a year like that. I don't know if it'll be this year.
Closer to 20 sacks?
Yeah, I think he'll have. TJ Watt's had 20 sacks
14
season.
last year.
He's had 13 between 13 and 14 every single year of his career. So yeah, if he does exactly what Brew is asking, which keep up the first 2/3 of the season production, the final third, that's an 18 sack season. You know what I mean? Or a 17, 18 sack season. So I think he can do it. And I'm curious how Zimmer's going to deploy him and use him. But he has great. So yes, he has to take a leap. But I wanted to give the context on the front end because he's already been dominant and great as is, but he's got to be even better for the Cowboys if they're going to be as good as they want.
Coming up next.